a lot of the storylines are not correct, and a lot of the storylines need to be corrected. And I think many of the storylines about Brother Hyles need to be corrected. And I can correct them because I had access to him, and I had a lot of access to him. And I received a lot of instruction from Brother Hyles. And so we want to set the record straight. I can go back into all those years and I can set the record straight about a lot of things that took place that people need to know about, because they were affecting things even now. So I felt like, and I shared this with him, and he believed it. And it's maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'll say it. But I felt like part of God's will for my life was to defend and protect Jack Hyles.
Amen.
And when I told him that, it took me a while to tell him, get the nerve to tell him. He told me the same thing in return. He felt the same way. And he gave me liberties that few people, well, I don't know if anyone really had the liberties I had to. Just I could do whatever I wanted to do, and he wouldn't worry about it. Basically, is what it was. When Dr. Hyles was attacked, I waged war. It was planned. It was a planned thing. And I was asked by one well-known preacher how many times Dr. Hyles ever reprimanded me for anything I did, and I could honestly tell him never, ever, because I had a blank check from him, and I did my best to defend him and to help him in every way I could. He credited me with adding 10 years of life to his ministry. And if I lived and I accomplished that, that's all I ever accomplished. I accomplished a great thing in my mind. Speaking of the Baptist Contender, most people don't realize Dr. Hyles is the one who's responsible for the Baptist Contender, not Tom Neal, because he kept beating me up every time he'd see me. I wish I knew somebody who had the courage and had the fortitude to put out a little paper that just exposed some things going on. And all. I guess I'll never meet a young man like that in my ministry. And he just kept on and on until I gave him one. I handed him the first one in Mexico City, and he's clapping his hands in the lobby of the motel and carrying on. You did it, you did it, you did it. You had the guts to do it. And he knew what was in the Contender. He knew what was going to be in the Contender because he had a say in it. Of course, people don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. He had a say in it, and sometimes he would tell me, "Don't send one to my house. This one," he'd say, "Don't send this one to my house." Mrs. Hyles would want to fight the battles too, but we would send them out, and he would know about them. And sometimes people get mad at me about something, and he'd hear about it. He'd say, "The Contender, it wasn't about that, was it? It wasn't about them." I said, "No." I said, "We talked about what it was about." And all. It got to where everybody thought it was about them, and it was after them, and they were all bigger than they really were. That's all.